So, the protagonist is writing in a book, thinking, I need to stay calm because even a tiny bit of fear can pull you into the darkness. At least, that's what he's learned in the past 2 years. During that time, he's had one goal: survive. Then someone knocks on the door and says, Lin, it's time. Go hang the light outside and get ready to open the store. Right then, he gets a mission from some kind of system. Mission: hang the lamp outside. Reward: skull coin, experience, and pure human blood. This is the first time he's seen this system, but there's no time to think about it. He has to follow the boss's orders right away. When he opens the door, a giant Frankenstein-style figure shows up. He greets, Professor, you're back already? But in his head, he's thinking, I'm going to die. That's what he thought when he first showed up here 2 years ago. But now, he's kind of used to it. Frankenstein's carrying a body. Our protagonist remembers, it was 2 years ago that I was saved by this professor and learned all the medical skills from him. He lights the candle, spills a drop of blood, and the reaction drives away all the souls nearby, lighting up the facade. He gets the rewards from the system and is surprised that such a simple mission earned him such good stuff. Suddenly, an old toothless woman carrying a head appears in front of him. Good morning, young man. Got any junk you don't need for this old woman? The system gives him another mission. Give the old lady something useless. He looks back and says, yeah, hold on. He knows it's the butcher, and he needs to get rid of her quickly. He hands her 2 red, spiky objects that are trembling. She thanks the young boy, and he gets his rewards from the system. Then she says, you've got a good heart. Here, take this. It's your reward. She gives him the eyes from her face. The system says he can either accept or refuse, but if he refuses, he'll lose 50 favorability points with her. He hesitates for a second, but then says, thanks a lot, I'll take them. She thanks him and leaves. There's a super important rule here. Never offend the walkers of the darkness. While the professor is busy, he checks the system. All his stats are basic, and the description says he's a fragile yet intelligent young human who's been surviving in this world for 2 years. But you never know when he might die. Lin notices that this system feels a lot like a game. Just then, Professor Frankenstein opens the door and tells Lin, I'm going out for a bit. I'll be back in 2 days. Take care of the store, and don't let anyone steal anything. The professor's name is Bloodsaw, and the system's combat info just says, don't mess with him, Lin. Seriously. Before leaving, Bloodsaw adds, don't forget to feed the little baby after closing the shop. He hasn't eaten in a while. Lin gets the same mission from the system. Bloodsaw warns, no matter what you hear outside, never leave the range of the soul lamp. If someone asks for help, ignore them. Lock the door and windows at night, and stay quiet no matter who calls for you. If anyone comes in, kill them all. Got it? Lin thinks, these 2 days are going to be torture. Sitting at the table with the blade, he just waits. As soon as the clock strikes, someone knocks on the door. Excuse me, is the owner there? Lin approaches the door and looks through the peephole. He sees a little girl holding a doll, and the system gives him a mission. Mission: help take care of the injured doll. In the system's attribute window, it warns of a wandering soul from the valley looking for her mother, with the doll as her ally. Anyone who tries to steal her doll will end up in her belly. With tears in her eyes, the girl pleads, please, my doll is hurt. Can you save her? Lin checks the soul lamp and notices that the reaction isn't too strong, so the girl doesn't seem that dangerous. He opens the door and invites her in. Thanks to the soul lamp, nobody can enter unless he invites them, or if they're really powerful. To keep his job, he has to treat customers well. The girl says, my doll lost her arm, and no matter how hard I look, I can't find it. When he examines the doll's arm, the system says the bite pattern matches the girl's mouth, and the blood on her clothes belongs to the doll. He's impressed that the system can help so much with the diagnosis. Then he asks, little girl, did you eat anything recently? She says, no, I haven't eaten in days, and I'm so hungry. So hungry that last night I dreamed I was eating all sorts of delicious things. Meat, hair, ears, everything I love. And it was delicious. As she's opening her monster mouth, her doll echoes, yes, everything was delicious. Lin's sanity takes a hit. He tells her, I think you might have eaten your doll's arm in your sleep. Lin asks, do you feel any discomfort in your belly? She replies that her belly feels a little itchy, like something wants to come out. He says, That's probably it. So the arm isn't being digested. Do you want surgery or a different solution? The girl awkwardly says she wants surgery. But how will it be? The doll also says she wants surgery. He pulls Bloodsaw's blade from the table and says, "It's simple. I'll cut your abdomen, open your stomach, remove the arm, and then sew it back together." The girl seems scared. "And what about physical therapy?" "This one's even simpler. The price will be even lower." "So I want this one," the girl says. She sits in the chair. He tells her to open her mouth as wide as possible. Lynn smells a terrible odor coming from her. He puts a metal circle in her mouth to prevent her from biting and pushes the arm inside her stomach. The girl is writhing in agony, but he tells her not to move. It'll be over soon. He searches inside her stomach until he finally manages to pull out the arm. She's agonizing in pain, and he confirms, "You really accidentally ate your doll's arm. She just didn't tell you because she knew you were hungry." He manages to reconnect the doll's arm, earning a lot of points in the system. Lynn looks at her and says, 10 for physical therapy, 30 for sewing, 70 for medicine. A total of 110 skull coins. "Thank you very much. Hope to see you again." The girl seems timid, takes some coins from her pocket and throws them to him. "I only have 20, she says. He stops for a second. "This says you still owe 90 coins. You can use part of your body as collateral." "It's okay." Part 6. "I'll do it for free for you." The girl takes a step back, afraid. "I still have 10. "Great. Now you owe 80. She says he can keep the medicine and she'll buy it next time. "All right. Now you owe 20 coins. She asks if she can pay on credit and come back later to pay the rest. But Lynn says, "It's a small store. We can't offer credit. How about leaving an eye as collateral? Relax. When you earn the money, you can buy it back." She cries and says, "All right." The doll says, "No, Mom, don't do it." But the eye has already been taken out and stored in a jar. He then receives a lot of items and money from the system. A pig without an eye enters the store. He's the owner of the butcher's shop in the Valley of Wandering Souls. He's your friendly neighbor and is very happy to share a prey he just caught with you, or share you with others. Lynn looks at the pig, noticing that the lamp is turning very red. "Welcome to Sanguine Blood's pharmacy. Is there anything I can help you with?" He thinks that thanks to the action of the soul lamp, monsters usually don't attack him, especially because if they do, he can use the power of the soul to suppress them. However, this doesn't work properly with those extremely corrupted ones. In the end, it's a ruleless world. The pig passes through the door and enters the shop. "Damn that old lady. She tore out one of my eyes just because of junk." Lynn asks, "Do you want to do this here or on the operating table?" The pig says he wants to do it here, thinking no one has the courage to lay on that operating table. Lynn tells him to rest his head on the table and stay still. "If it hurts, you can scream." The pig jokes, "Scream in pain." Lynn then pulls out the blade and heats it on the candle. The pig trembles, wondering why he's heating a knife to reattach an eyeball. Lynn approaches and says, "You have some blood clots and some stones in your eye. But it's all right, I'll clean them for you." The pig sees him approaching. "What's that for?" "It's a kind of super glue. It'll prevent your eyeball from falling out again when combined with a healing potion." Lynn then reinserts the eye, saying, "Believe me, I'm a professional." With a hammer in hand, the pig's sanity drops by 20. The pig asks what he's doing with the hammer. Lynn tells him to calm down and stay still. This is the last step of the procedure. Lynn delivers another hammer blow, but then Lynn stops, looking stressed. The pig asks, "What is the problem?" Lynn tells him that unfortunately, the eye is in the wrong position, and he will need to redo the surgery. But don't fret, the fix is going to be free because I am a friendly doctor. The pig screams in pain and fear. But after some time, Lynn hands him medicine, instructing him to take it twice a day orally and to apply the other one to the skin. Then he asks if he can leave now. Lynn says, "Of course you can. Go ahead." However, the system notifies Lynn that he has activated a secret mission from the pig head, the unusual stomach. As a reward, Lynn would receive the visual diagnosis ability. Then Lynn says, "Wait there." The pig asks, "What's the problem?" Lynn calmly explains, "I just noticed a problem and I need to tell you. If I don't, I can't call myself a doctor anymore." The pig sits in the chair saying, "Okay, I believe you for now, but if it's a trick, I won't spare you." He asks to see his pulse, and Lynn gains experience in diagnosis. The pig grows impatient, asking, "What is the problem?" Lynn takes a moment and then says, "It's a serious matter. The pig trembles. After staring at each other for a moment, Lin says, "It's an ectopic pregnancy." The pig grabs Lin by the collar, saying he's a man, not a woman. Lin calmly replies, "That's why I'm saying it's an ectopic pregnancy. It would be even more problematic if you had a uterus. We'd have to perform an even more difficult gender surgery." The pig throws him into the chair. Frustrated, Lin asks what he's thinking. The pig replies, "I'm thinking about how I'm going to cut your hand off." Lin says, "Stop thinking about these useless things." He adds, "You've been experiencing swelling, nausea, loss of appetite, and bleeding in the lower region." The pig seems shocked by the fact that Lin knows all of that. Lin calmly takes notes and asks if anything else has happened. The pig mentions some stomach pains, and Lin asks, "How long has it been?" "About a month," the pig replies. Lin thinks a bad meal wouldn't cause pain for that long. Then he asks, "When was the last time you tried to reproduce? Do you have any strange fantasies, like joining many people or using unconventional tools?" The pig shouts, "I doubt you'll say that again." Lin responds, "Okay, I won't ask that again. Based on everything you've told me, it seems like you're not experiencing a normal pregnancy. It appears that you consume something with abnormal powers, causing a mutation in your body, indirectly leading to an ectopic pregnancy." The pig repeats, "Ectopic pregnancy?" Lin says, "Lately, haven't you felt satiated even after eating a lot? You have sunken eyes, pale skin, and a cold pulse. All of these are possible symptoms when an evil spirit parasitizes you. Put your hand here. This is an exorcism potion. It will check if you're parasitized by an evil spirit." The pig approaches and sniffs, then plunges his hand in, and spirits begin to emerge. Seeing this, the pig jerks his hand back, feeling something moving in his belly. Lin grabs a pan and hits his belly. The pig asks what that thing was, and Lin says that the preliminary diagnosis confirms it's an ectopic pregnancy caused by an evil spirit parasite. Lin asks, "Have you eaten anything dirty lately?" The pig admits, "Yes, about a month ago. I fed on a guy when I went out, but it went straight to my belly, so it's not like I actually ate it. Besides, I've only eaten pork and human meat." Lin reassures him, "All right, let's take a look inside. Come with me." The pig follows Lin to the operating room. "What's this about?" The pig wonders, imagining the operating room. Then he runs to the table, grabs a pen, and marks a cross on his belly. "There, now I'm ready again." He presses a button. Chains appear to restrain his hands and feet, and the pig starts screaming in despair. After a lot of cuts and blade experience, Lin says, "Congratulations! It was a smooth birth, a bloody and mature baby." The pig looks at his belly as Lin starts sewing. "Maybe now isn't the best time to say this, but I still have to tell you the total cost of the surgery. It's 300 skeleton coins." Lin passes the needle and stitches the wound. All done. He pours a potion on the wound, and the pig writhes. "Congratulations." Everything went smoothly with the surgery. By completing the secret quest, Lin gained more experience, and the pig acquired another 200 fear points of him. Looking at the creature that came out of the pig's belly, Lin says, "Even though she's being parasitized by evil spirits, if you take care of her well, who knows? Maybe she'll become a very healthy child." But the pig is already running away, fleeing. Lin tries to warn him, "Sir, you forgot your daughter." The pig says he left her as part of the payment too. Lin wonders, "What am I going to do?" "Well, I'll take care of her temporarily. Who knows? Maybe when the professor returns, he'll have her as a little snack along with wine." He takes a look and sees in the system, "Deformed infant spirit, female gender, level 2. Then the system gives a secret mission. The evil spirit inside her is corrupting her appearance. The longer it takes, the more terrible she will become. He has 4 options. He can turn her into lamp oil, feed her to the creatures in the garden, preserve her as a specimen, or wait for the pig to come pick her up. Our guy thinks the first 3 are too cruel. The only thing written in the reward is waiting for analysis, which is a bit confusing." That's when he remembers. "Oops, I forgot to feed the creatures in the back." He puts her in a jar and says, "You stay here. I'll take care of something," he says, and goes to the back of the store. Phew, thank goodness the system mentioned this. Otherwise, I wouldn't have remembered. He takes off the lid, already sweating a bit, pours something inside, and loses 10 affection points for whatever is there. But at least he fed it. When he returns to the shop, the creature is gigantic. His sanity is already decreasing just by looking at it. 30 sanity. But Lin is more worried that she became so ugly that the pig won't even recognize her as his daughter. Now what am I going to do? He's already tied her to the bed. You know what? I'll do him a big favor and give her a makeover. He's all happy there, mistreating the creature until someone knocks on the door. When he opens it, there's a burnt mummy standing there. Ah, welcome to our store. The system shows a 99% burn evil spirit carrying great malice against anything. That's beautiful. Our guy says, all right, take a seat. Wait a little while. I have another surgery to finish. Let's take care of this child first. After some time, he finally succeeds. Lin is happy with the results, saying he had great manual skills before traveling to this world. I just didn't expect to use those skills here. But then he notices there's still a third eye in the middle of her forehead. Whoa. A third eye? Venom came out of it. He warns her not to show that eye in the middle of her forehead, or he'll have to use the blade again. As he looks outside, he realizes it's time to close. He checks the time using the saw lamp. The weaker the light, the later it is. When it goes out, it's nighttime. As he goes to remove the lamp, a hooded figure appears, claiming to be a demon hunter. The system warns him, you'll die. A powerful hunter who walks alone in the world of darkness. Don't try to understand. He's very dangerous. Our guy stares, wondering if he's human. It's the first time he's seen one in 2 years. The hooded figure says, I need treatment. Some combat and recovery potions. The system activates the mission. 500 coins just to treat his injuries. The problem is, the mission fails if our guy gets killed by him. Come in, sir. Nice to meet you. What's the problem you need to treat? Our guy says, thinking at least he's a human. They're usually easier to understand. The guy stands up, showing his arm with a purple thing on it. It's not good. It's beating on its own, the hunter says. The system finishes the preliminary diagnosis. Your arm is being corroded by black butterfly venom, Lin tells him, and he responds, oh man, so you recognized it? I underestimated you, the guy says. Some red Dresco set me up and used this nasty thing on my arm. Lucky for her, I wasn't in good health once. This is better. I'll look for her. I'll help you, our guy says, thinking, how am I going to treat this guy? He won't leave otherwise. I'll have to perform surgery on your arm. Our guy gets his blades ready. Okay, I'll start. This place doesn't look like a clinic to me, but more like a slaughterhouse. And this skinny guy is freaking me out, the hunter mutters. Do you need anesthesia? Lin asks. Anesthesia will only slow down my reflexes. A real man never uses it. Why does it look like you're preparing for a meal? The demon hunter asks, getting nervous. Chill. It's all part of the procedure. It's just to catch the blood in some parts of your arm. During the operation, our guy tranquilizes him. Damn it. If there wasn't anywhere else within at least 100 meters, I'd get out of this hell. Hey, if it hurts, you can ask for anesthesia. It's okay, our guy says. The guy with tears in his eyes says, huh? You've already started? I didn't even realize. It's like you're making noodles. What do you want? Hurry up and finish. When I'm done, I guarantee you'll come back later. The poor guy is lying there drooling. Our guy made a mountain of stuff from his arm. He looks at his back. Did the devil do this? He mutters, picking up the stones. The guy is shocked. What did you do to me? He asks angrily. Did you like it that much? Our guy replies innocently. The hunter starts cursing at him and tries to attack. But our guy dodges. Hey, I'm still trying to save you, you know. Acting shamelessly like this. I will not allow you to kill me first. I won't let a patient leave in the middle of treatment, our guy says firmly. The demon hunter can't believe it. He pulls out his blade. Stop playing with me, finish this already, he demands. A shot is fired into the air, and the next scene shows the poor guy already tied up. Why did you tie me up? He asks. It's just that I think you won't be able to handle the pain and then you'll want to hurt me again. God, what are you doing? The guy cries. Please help me, our guy reassures him. I'm just scraping the bones. Relax. Come on, please stop it, the guy pleads as the saw approaches. Suddenly, a little girl enters the shop. Is this the place? Is anyone here? I came to buy some healing potions, she says nervously. Suddenly, she's grabbed by the leg. Help! Help! She screams when she sees our guy with the saw behind the hunter. She screams in despair. Lin looks at her and says, Hi, did you come to get some potions? I just have to finish with this patient of mine and I'll get them for you. The poor girl gets desperate, gaining 70 fear points of him. The system says the scare he gave her developed a psychological disorder. The girl went from excited to shy. new terror of patience. Lin is surprised. Wait, how did I become so scary just by seeing her? I offered the potions and gave a smile. Man, this system keeps giving weird rewards. Giving a glare to the hunter who was trying to leave, Lin says, "Oh, you're trying to run away? The operation isn't over yet. We're back." The guy punches in pain. Lin gives a little pat on his shoulder. "It's over. All the toxins that invaded your bones are completely gone now. Just wait for your bones and muscles to regenerate a bit, and your arm will be as good as new." But the poor guy isn't finished. "Wake up, sir. Wake up." The system speaks with special methods. You incapacitated a legendary demon hunter. Reward: the one who inflicts pain. Effect increases by 5%. The pain you cause using various tools. Sometime later, the hunter wakes up. "Where am I?" He quickly gets up and tries to shoot twice. "Get away from me." He's losing sanity again. Lin is against the wall. "Calm down. Calm down. I just took care of your injuries. Look, everything's fine. Forget about those bad memories." The guy points to Lin but thinks, the feeling of that butterfly demon is really gone. This is almost like a dream. Lin reassures him. "Of course it is. The muscle toxin that was affecting you has been removed. The problem was the regeneration of your bones and muscles. That's why I gave you the best potion from the store, along with your extremely strong physique. Everything went well. The only problem was that there was still a little piece missing in the middle, so I added some extra meat." "Don't worry, your body won't reject it," Lin says reassuringly. The guy looks puzzled. "Wait, what's this?" "Pork meat," Lin responds casually. "You said you did everything right. You put a piece of pork in me." Lin answers, "Well, it's a weird process, isn't it? But the result is perfect. No worries. If you ever have any problems in the future, you can come back here and I'll help you." The hunter, clearly annoyed, says, "Returning here? You think I want to come back here? The chance of a crisis has skyrocketed." "Well, my client, even though the process was peculiar, having the butterfly venom corrupt your entire body until you die would have been much worse. In this world of darkness, staying alive is more important than anything else." The crisis level drops to 99%. The guy holding it together listens as Lin continues. "You're right. In this world, being alive is more important than anything else." He turns to Lin and adds, "Just for that? You're alive. That's quite an achievement. Your torture us methods are top-notch." "Thank you," Lin says. The hunter pulls him up, staring intensely. "Do you think I'm praising you, kid? Have you ever performed any other surgeries in your life?" Lin raises 3 fingers. "I swear I performed a cesarean section on someone, and the father and daughter were very happy. They even praised me." The guy, considering his bone-shaving experience compared to a cesarean, acknowledges that his wounds have indeed been healed, remembering how scared he was. He stares at Lin and says, "Hey, no one can know about the rumor that I fainted here, understand? You can rest assured no one will find out," Lin says. "Just tell me how much all this costs. There's no way I'm coming back to this place. You don't even need to pay. Consider this a favor from someone of the same race. I just want to see you visit our mall again in the future." Lin knows he needs to become friends with this guy. With that, the system gives him 500 coins. The guy, however, doesn't think these compliments will help him with anything. "Just forget everything that happened here. Even if we're of the same race, it doesn't change anything. I walk alone and will never take a kid like you to share the path with me." He puts on his hat and says, "I'm giving you this chance. Get out of here. A human like you, with no skills, will soon become monster food." Lin asks how he can leave this world. "To be honest, I ended up here by accident. Apart from this pharmacy, I don't know anything about the outside world." The guy looks at him. "In a way, you're lucky. Many people have fallen into this world like you, from various worlds, but most have been consumed by fear. I can only tell you that this is the lowest level of Sin City, and trying to leave here is the quickest path to death. If you don't want to die, get stronger. Only then will you have a chance to escape this place." "Hold on. Are you saying it's almost impossible to leave for the rest of my life? Every time I see those monsters, I'm terrified. With your medical skills, the monsters must be terrified of you. But enough chit-chat. I'm someone who believes in fair exchange. You healed my wounds and I can't treat you unfairly just because you don't want money." He opens his coat, revealing his belongings. "Take a look and choose something." Lin, intrigued, examines the items. What should I choose? Oh, this one looks good." He picks up a cursed revolver from a legendary demon hunter, enchanted with 6 self-reloading bullets. Lin eagerly grips the handle. "Your eye is sharp, kid. Eager to grab the best I have. I just found your weapons." "Cool." Lin replies. Of course they're cool. How many monsters have you killed with those? The hunter explains. None. I've never used them to kill a single monster, Lin admits, firing a shot at the wall, creating a circle. They may look cool, but both have a fatal flaw. And you must have noticed, they never hit the target, no matter the angle. Besides being decorative, they serve no purpose. What do you mean I don't want them then? Lin protests. But the hunter insists. As a man of justice and integrity, once you've chosen them, you can't refuse them, or it would be disrespectful on my part. You have a chance. Take them, or I will do something. Lin considers, then decides to take them, thinking he'll dispose of them later. Good choice. Just know that due to their curse, you can't voluntarily get rid of them. They can only be transferred through a fair exchange. Luckily, your intense desire attracted them, as curses like to find someone to pass on to. It's not easy. You're clearly trying to pull a fast one on me. This surgery was a lot of work, and I owe you this big favor. As an extra reward, I'll remind you tonight, no matter what you hear or how terrified you get, don't go outside and don't open that door. Lin asks, seems like something extraordinary happened here. Is it a monster or what? But the man disappears into the shadows. I think it's better if you don't know. If you manage to stay alive until tomorrow, maybe we'll meet again. Lin reflects on how his teacher said the same thing before going out tonight. He needs to be much more careful. There's half an hour until darkness. No visitors should come during this time. He stares at the little creature on the ground, already level 7. This child keeps leveling up. Soon it'll be difficult to deal with. Then he uses the Chicago toy, barely missing the target. The fear in its eyes is evident. It really doesn't hit hard to believe. He continues shooting, instilling fear in the creature. The lamp starts to dim. Our protagonist rushes to the door, closes it, and breathes a sigh of relief. Now, with the lamp disabled, the real test begins. It means anyone, even without permission, can enter his house of their own accord. The system activates a mission: Sleepless Night. The objective is to survive until dawn, with a reward of 500 coins and a special item. In his room, our protagonist is already under the covers, armed and ready to face whatever comes. Phew. Nothing so far. I just want to survive this night. It's midnight, and someone is already knocking on the door. Open up. It's me, Bloodsoul. There's a malevolent spirit following me. Help me. Wait, is the professor back? Our protagonist wonders as he cautiously approaches the door. He suddenly attacks the door. You didn't even confirm it was me before you slashed at me, the outsider protests. If I were outside, my professor wouldn't hesitate to do the same. Besides, he wouldn't come back at this hour. As they argue, he hears a noise outside. Our protagonist leans in to listen, but suddenly hands grab him, causing him to lose sanity. He struggles as the hands grip him tightly, but manages to break free by using the hair from the malevolent spirit. As the hands retreat, he wonders if they're alive or dead, but decides it's better to be safe and delivers the final blows. You killed the Deceiver of Flesh and gained 100 experience points. Part 22. Phew. I managed to survive, but the monster knocked on the door right at midnight. Who knows what this night still holds? As he cleans the floor, the system gives 2 warnings. The root level monster is approaching, and the crisis level is at 100%. Our protagonist, already at the door, wonders if it's the creature everyone has been mentioning. He waits, and the hand starts to move. Suddenly, he's being pulled. He grabs his knife, smelling something awful. When he looks, there are 2 huge eyes staring at him. He quickly hides again, but the eye is right behind the door, facing him. Darn it, this monster's heartbeat is so loud! He hears licking sounds. It's kind of cute, until the lick reaches my face. No, that's not cute. Forget that. He loses 40 sanity. Trembling? I can't panic. If I do, I'll be eaten. The monster licks his cheek lightly. Doctor, I found you. Open the door. I have a toothache. A toothache? Is the monster not here to eat me but to get a dental checkup? Our protagonist responds. Our little clinic doesn't receive patients at night. Those are the rules, and I must follow them. But the creature threatens, open up, or I'll eat you. Reluctantly, he opens the door. Hello, my dear client. This clinic will serve you. The monster's level, race, and abilities are unknown. It complains about a toothache, unable to eat. Don't worry, I can definitely help you. A toothache is such a small thing. It'll be quick, he reassures himself, thinking, it's horrible, but it's a client like any other. Just another day. As he approaches the monster's mouth, he activates the system's mission to treat the toothache. offering 1,000 coins, 50 favor points with the unknown creature, and no penalties. He thinks, of course there won't be any penalties. There won't be anything left of me. Now he has to rely on his medical skills. The only problem is, it's dark. The creature's tongue moves to take his own eyes, then uses the eyeball to light the place. Thank you. Now everything's clear. The inside is full of decomposed creatures. The menu is quite unique. Inside there, he finds a legendary lance, damaged but still there. It's a spear from an unknown world that fell into the realm of darkness, blessed with sacred power, strong against anomalous spirits and demons. I found this lance similar to the hunter's weapon. It doesn't belong to this world. Besides, the sacred attribute is what causes so much pain. The creature tells him to pull it out. Lin is shocked. Inside the creature there are tons of healer items. Demon eyes, doctor's cursed healer body, doctor's eyeball. Maybe they all tried to deal with this lance in the last pharmacy that it went to. But being cursed creatures, they couldn't heal it. But I'm human. Sacred power shouldn't affect me. He touches it, and his finger turns purple. Oops. The big guy's staring at me. Phew. This is my chance. He starts pulling. The creature sends tentacles inside to help, and he manages to pull it out successfully, gaining 20 favorability points. However, it still hurts a lot. Lin thinks, I'm in deep trouble here, and if I don't calm down, I'll be eaten. Don't worry, I'll cure you, he reassures. Ignoring the terrifying appearance, he rushes to his shop, grabs several tubes, and returns to apply medicine to the root of the tooth, explaining that it's the residual power of the lance causing the pain. The problem is that there's too much blood. He thinks, how am I going to get into this? Suddenly, he sees a tentacle. Patient, you need this tentacle because I need it to alleviate your pain. He cuts it without waiting for a response. The creature approaches, asking what he's doing, but he's already there with the syringe. Turn on the light. Why are you staring at me? He taps the eye. Let's go up. He tries to enter the tooth, but it's too narrow. I need to go deeper. Where are the other tools? He finds a drill and starts inserting it into the tooth. The creature writhes in pain. You'll have to endure a little longer, he reassures it as he drills. Finally, the pain subsides. I was about to eat you, the creature says, now in a good mood. But now the pain is gone. Don't think about that. The medicine has started working. Now we just need to clean your teeth and fix everything up. He asks for a bucket, and the creature brings it. He cleans the tooth and asks for steel to repair it, but he doesn't have enough material. The creature offers to fetch it, eats him, and runs. In the next scene, they are facing a door. The problem is that Lin recognizes that the door is made of iron, not steel. The creature opens its mouth and shoots a laser, revealing a steel marionette with extremely strong combat capabilities. Lin calmly exits the creature's mouth and observes the marionette. He recalls how one of these caused havoc in his shop, forcing his boss to fight for 10 hours to get rid of it. The creature sticks out its tongue, crushing the marionette, then jumps and delivers a crushing blow. Lin is awestruck, realizing the massive difference in power between the two. The creature asks if it's enough or if it should continue. Lin assures it's enough and asks for help fixing the marionette, turning on the tools. Perfect, Lin says as he inspects the sharp teeth. The creature holds Lin, expressing its satisfaction. Very happy. Lin, sweating, gains 11 sculpt points and earns 50 favorability points. He's now ready to care for more patients with affection, love, and attention. Do you remember how in the last video it ended with him fixing the big mouth's teeth? The creature had promised not to eat him, and Lin thanked her, gaining 40 trust points. At that moment, he offers her an oral care service. She's curious and asks what that is. Lin explains it's a long-term service to ensure the health of her teeth. The big monster is a bit confused, so he offers a free trial to demonstrate. He immediately jumps into her mouth, activating the cleaning mission. He starts removing all the corpse remains and other debris in her mouth, collecting a bunch of human remains. Meanwhile, he places a black bucket on the floor. The monster asks, "What is that, sir?" Lin replies, "It's a black slime. It will sterilize your entire mouth and leave your breath feeling fresh." She responds, "Ah, okay. Amazing." The creature opens her mouth wide. Lin gains another 20 favorability points. He hops right in and starts scrubbing everything, and she's quite pleased. "I thought there was going to be some trick to this," Lin says, instructing her to hold the bucket to help out. He continues cleaning, earning another 20 favorability points. "How are you feeling?" he asks. She's thrilled with her shining teeth, giving Lin another 50 favorability points. She's already loving it. Are you satisfied with this service? He asks. The monster happily agrees. Lin then proposes, how about you become a lifetime member of our clinic? She agrees, and Lin says, okay, what's your name so I can create your record? Next time you come, you'll receive a special gift and a membership card. The creature doesn't understand what a name is. Lin explains, it's what other creatures call you. She replies, nameless. Lin offers, would you like me to give you a name? How about Xiao Xiao? The creature accepts the name and gives him a few licks as a thank you. Lin gains the title Root Namer, becoming the first human in the history of this world to give a root creature a name. With that, he gains more affinity points and the ability to remove curses. Xiao Xiao takes him back home, happily departing afterward. Our protagonist collapses behind the door. Phew, good thing I have a strong mindset, or I wouldn't have survived the night. Back in the shop, he opens the system. He has 8 points to spend. The system now introduces him as someone who has already caused fear and pain to a poor demon hunter. Our protagonist knows what to do with his attributes. Strength and agility aren't useful for now. He won't get strong enough to fight these creatures. Intelligence isn't crucial either since he can analyze situations using the system. So he invests more in constitution, focusing on staying alive. He checks out the skill he received. Limited curse removal. It cleanses a curse for 24 hours, can only be used on one target at a time, and has a 12-hour cooldown. Our protagonist thinks, wait, if I use this curse remover on the pistol, it's basically going to become a legendary weapon. He uses curse removal. Boom. You've removed the curse from the pistol. Cooldown. 12 hours. He's eager to test it out. He fires some shots at a bottle but misses everything. Ah, lying system. Where is it? The curse is still here. The system informs him, your proficiency with weapons is 0. Ah, crap. It was for nothing. Realizing he needs to practice, he sets up a bottle by the window and starts shooting. He gains some experience but realizes improvement won't happen overnight. Suddenly he hears a loud scream. Whoa, what happened outside? Someone yells, who is the son of a gun who ambushed me? The system notifies him. You hit a level 75 creature, the feeder of the night. Panic sets in. He goes to the windows and starts nailing planks to cover them. Phew, done. He hides everything and heads back to his room. The creature outside is shouting, where's the one who did it? Where? Lin crawls into bed, shaking all over. Despite the chaos, he manages to sleep and wakes up the next day, earning 500 coins for surviving the night. The system congratulates him. For your first day, it was incredible. You killed a monster, wounded another, psychologically traumatized various patients, and still woke up feeling prosperous. Tranquility, he mutters. With that, he reaches level 6 and unlocks the system's shop. Our protagonist thinks, my god, so many things from the system. As soon as he wakes up, the system sends another message. When you reach level 10, you'll be able to change professions. Keep an eye out. At that moment, Lin notices some tentacles emerging from his bed, so he instantly starts shooting, gaining proficiency. But it's just a little girl, adorable but with evil-looking tentacles. Startled, his fear of that creature increases by 20. No wonder I felt someone climbing over my body, he thinks. I'm curious how much this creature grew overnight. The system informs him that the creature has already reached level 10. The system then notifies him, since you reached 1321 fear points and 200 taming points, you've earned a mission, the growth of the child's spirit. He now has the ability to influence the creature's development. Our protagonist groans, do I have to take care of this and develop it too? Why can't it just develop on its own? But realizing that fear is what kept it from attacking him, he concludes that he needs to instill as much fear as possible to ensure it doesn't want to kill him. Poor thing, the little girl looks so innocent and cute in Lin's hand. But it's time to begin. Lin starts stretching her out, saying, it's time for your daily adjustment. She squirms, showing discomfort as he continues. Without my consent, you made all these weird tentacles. Her fear of him keeps increasing. Lin doesn't hesitate, even putting the tentacles back into the poor girl's mouth. Let Uncle Lin fix you up again, he says. And with a swift move, she's back to being a little girl, but this time with small tails added. Wow, how did he do that? Lin marvels at his own work. The system informs him that this new form will have a significant impact on her development. Feeling proud, Lin notes, just with the tentacle fabric, I managed to create these little ears. She turned out to be very cute. He tells the girl, "Keep this form and don't use those tentacles again." The system announces that the preliminary phase is complete, but now it's time to adjust her personality. Lin cracks a mischievous smile. Hey, let me give you a good education." He makes another adjustment, this time to her cerebellum, setting her personality direction. Sweet, obedient, and murderous. What's that, kid? Why murderous at the end? Lin asks himself, glancing at the psychological characteristics. Virtuous, cute, and morbid. Her growth direction is set as an adorable, sweet girl who can also become a cute girl spreading disaster and death as an evil spirit. Why do I always make the third aspect something terrifying? Lin wonders aloud, asking the system if he can tweak things a bit. The system responds that in this first stage, he can't make further adjustments. Only 2 adjustments were allowed. Lin peets the girl, reassuring himself, "I'll remove the negative parts later, then she'll be a perfect little girl." For now, that's what he has to work with. He decides it's time to open the shop. The little girl falls asleep after the transformation process. Lin takes the opportunity to practice his aim, clean up the place and put a candle outside. Sitting in a chair, he opens the system shop, already imagining the amazing items he might find. He's thinking about buying clothes for the girl, maybe a 9-tailed fox or a big shield. The shop offers items like slime mucus, a charm that attracts money, baby diapers, a growth elixir, magical meat blocks, and a succubus's enchanting perfume. Lin isn't impressed. What the heck is this system? Refresh this. I want new items. The system informs him that the refresh function is not yet available, advising patience. At 5 odd a.m., the items will change. Meanwhile, Lin decides to buy the toxic slime, thinking it could be useful for making potions in the future. Then he notices an unlucky cat that also brings money. Well, I'm a very lucky guy, right? Heh, I guess I'll buy it then. He spends 200 coins on the big cat, which appears in the store. He looks at the diaper, then at the little girl. Well, maybe I need to use this. He buys it too. Despite not liking the store initially, he ends up purchasing everything. He finally sees a growth elixir that helps heal wounds, thinking, yeah, this will help me a lot. He buys that as well. Lin is unstoppable. Today is the day the supplier comes to restock, so Lin prepares to replenish all his inventory. Just then, the butcher lady enters the store, asking the usual question. Young man, do you have something useless to give to this old lady? The system assigns a mission, and Lin brings out a bag of items he received yesterday. The old lady is surprised. Boy, do you have all this to give to me? Lin nods. Yes, ma'am, I can put it in the cart for you. She thanks him, and he completes the mission. However, the butcher lady senses the aura of a root-level creature inside the bag and is quite impressed. Lin explains, yesterday I had to deal with a root-level creature, and this was inside her mouth. The butcher lady is astonished. Boy, you dealt with a root-level monster and took something out of her mouth? Aren't you afraid of dying? I thought this human guy was ordinary. Didn't expect him to be so crazy. Lin shrugs. Afraid of what? I was just serving the customers of our store. No matter who comes in, I treat everyone equally. The old lady admires his bravery, saying, he's very brave. Last night, 3 abyssal root-level creatures were here along with a demon hunter. She advises him not to get in touch with any of them, still impressed with Lin's courage. She tells him that in the 3 nearby villages, all the people were killed by those monsters. Lin mentions that he served a demon hunter yesterday. The old lady speculates, maybe that's why he didn't go attack the Valley of Souls. Lin replies, I don't think that's the case. He was a pretty cute guy. I'd say it's impossible for him to be cruel. The old lady is puzzled. Cute? How do you find that guy cute? Lin responds, he was quite friendly, to be honest. The butcher lady, still impressed, watches as Lin gains more reputation. The butcher lady looks down, deep in thought. As expected, there are no normal existences in this dark world, especially those who seem normal. She continues, young man, the items you gave me are very valuable. I won't be able to digest them for a while. And this thing here that I picked up is quite useful. You can have it. Lin is taken aback. Wow! What's this? A heart? He loses 10 sanity points. Heart of a faceless demon. A cursed object that can be connected to the heart of a target. However, it requires a lot of fresh blood to work. The old lady explains, if you want someone to die, just think about them with this heart and use your most vicious methods. Boy, you will be able to reap much joy. Lin knows that nothing ordinary comes from this old lady. Just by the description, I know it's a lethal weapon. The old lady then leaves. At that moment, the carriage salesman arrives and Lin exchanges some items.